Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Californians are waking up under a shelter-in-place order after Governor Gavin Newsom told all residents to stay home except for essential services. We'll break down what that means, what's open and what's not, and how residents are responding.
And Bakersfield is now under a state of emergency. The declaration made late last night. Mayor Karen Go will join us this morning live in studio to talk about the move and what else the city is doing to stop the spread of COVID-19.
Residents rushed to buy guns and ammunition in the face of the mounting worry across the nation, while some customers say they're stocking up now. This is Friday, March 20th, 2020. Good morning. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. Again, this morning we are implementing new protocols here on 17 News at Sunrise based on how you see us positioned here in the newsroom. Of course, we also know new protocols are now in position across the state after Governor Newsom's order last night.
Today is going to be very different from yesterday after, of course, the executive order from Governor Gavin Newsom. A lot of people will not be going into work today and finding that out late last night.
Yeah, we're going to break down what all this means because there are essential services that you are still allowed to do,
right.
Essential services that are still open, many things, in fact, that I was surprised to find out. So we're going to break that all down for you in just a moment. But we're also talking about your forecast, and Kevin has that. He is once again reporting live from his home in Southwest Bakersfield, where he has been for the majority of the week. Kev, we certainly do miss you.
Well, I miss you guys as well, and I have my little Brookie here this morning. You know, when we're sheltering in place, we want a companion, whether it be your family member, your pet. They always bring a little bit of joy to our lives, and yeah, Brookie and the rest of my pups wake up every morning with me as we get ready to give you your forecast. And we did see some rain yesterday, and guess what? We're under the gun to see even maybe a little bit more rain this afternoon. Not so much this morning. We were able to clear out a little bit. As we take a look at the satellite and radar around our area, you can see that there's very little to show you right now around Kern County, but that could change as we head into this afternoon. The low that did bring us the rain yesterday is over Nevada right now. 207 inch out at Meadows Field yesterday is Southwest Bakersfield, where I'm at, 1,807 inch, and then you can see up in the mountains right around a tenth of an inch of rain. So we did pick up a little bit of that wet stuff. 51 degrees in Bakersfield, an east-northeast wind at 3 miles per hour right now, and as we take a look at the day, we'll be back into the 60s, starting out in those 40s. And then for the mountains, we'll be looking at 32 degrees to start, a southeast wind at 8. And as we take a look at the day here, you can see temperatures are back into the 40s this afternoon. Again, we could see a chance of some showers this afternoon. We'll talk more about that and a bigger rainmaker that could be on the way by the end of the weekend. But for now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. All right, let's get another check of your morning commute, or the first check of your morning commute this morning. Here's a look outside at the 99 at Airport Drive, and as you can see, things are looking pretty clear on that side of town. No major incidents to talk about to start off your Friday morning. We'll have another check of your commute coming up in about 15 minutes. This morning, Californians are waking up under the strictest lockdown in the nation. This all comes after Governor Newsom issued a statewide order telling Californians to stay at home during the COVID-19 outbreak. The order went into effect last night, and it asked people to only leave their homes when necessary. It will remain in place until further notice. Places like grocery and convenience stores, restaurants offering curbside pickup or delivery only, gas stations, pharmacies, banks, and laundromats will remain open. The governor said he hopes people will voluntarily obey the order.
There's a mutuality and there's a recognition of our interdependence that requires of this moment that we direct a statewide order for people to stay at home. That directive goes into force and effect this evening, and we are confident that the people of the state of California will abide by it. They'll do the right thing. They'll meet this moment. They'll step up, as they have over the course of the last number of weeks, to protect themselves, to protect their families, and to protect the broader community.
The governor says we need to flatten the curve in California, and in order to do that, we need to recognize the severity of the situation.
Bakersfield joins the list of cities Kern County now under a state of emergency. The declaration came last night around 11 p.m. Earlier this week, city officials in Tehachapi, Arvin, Shafter, Wasco, and Delano all declared states of emergency. But what does declaring a state of emergency actually mean? For cities, it means opening the door for emergency state and federal funds to combat a crisis like the coronavirus outbreak. As Delano Mayor Pro Tem Joe Alindahouse says, declaring a state of emergency gives local governments options and powers they would not otherwise have.
It allows us to work with Kern County Office of Emergency Services, helps mobilize local resources, also helps us coordinate our efforts, any response efforts with the county, and also broadens the powers of the city manager for the city of Delano, who's the director of emergency services.
Last night, Bakersfield City Council declared a state of emergency. The plan is set for ratification next week. Police and fire response are not impacted by this decision. Bakersfield Mayor Karen Go and Assemblyman Vince Fong will both be joining us live in studio here on Sunrise later this morning to discuss the city's and the state's response to the coronavirus pandemic.
Now for the latest on the coronavirus in Kern County. Yesterday, Public Health said 3 Kern County residents and 1 visitor have tested positive for the virus. Because of the privacy concerns, they are not able to disclose the ages of the patients or which part of the county they are in. Public Health says the patients are all recovering at home and officials are checking in with everyone who was in contact with them. The Public Health website lists 244 pending tests. They say they are updating their website with the latest numbers every morning and evening, and of course we will tell you the latest as soon as we learn. And in California, there are 675 cases and 18 people have died. Across the U.S., there are more than 14,000 cases. 150 people have died.
To be clear, local officials were preparing to see more cases now that testing really is picking up. Accelerated Urgent Care offers drive-through testing on Coffee Road and Stockdale Highway. Priority Urgent Care is also testing from a tent. Omni says it's testing at all of its clinics and offering drive-through testing. Local hospitals can also test for COVID-19 as well. But please remember, they are only testing people showing symptoms and who have certain conditions, such as have been in contact with a person who tested positive. Today, Public Health acknowledged testing is not completely free, but Director Matt Constantine says they could look at options to make it cost less or possibly be free. A lot of that also depends on your insurance coverage. In case you're still not familiar, because it is hard to differentiate, these are the symptoms of coronavirus, and here's how they compare to the flu or seasonal allergies. Symptoms of coronavirus include a fever, a dry cough, meaning there won't be mucus, fatigue, and shortness of breath. Less common symptoms of coronavirus include aches and pains, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, and diarrhea. Flu symptoms are very similar, but muscle and joint pain, a runny nose, and a headache will be more common for the flu. And it's the first day of spring. A lot of people have allergies right now. Those symptoms include sneezing, coughing, itchy eyes, and a runny or stuffy nose. Again, if you think you have symptoms of coronavirus, call your doctor before going into their office.
And of course, everything you just heard you can find on our website, kget.com. We've got a whole page dedicated to this coverage. Plus, you can learn the facts about the virus and where you can get help if you need it. Yeah, again, Maddie, a lot of people are worried about this. They're concerned. They don't know what to do. And we're kind of all in the same boat, right? I mean, we've never experienced something like this before.
Yeah, these are unprecedented times for sure. But we do know a lot more this morning. It's becoming more clear about what's going to be open, what's not, and what you can do. So we're going to continue to break that down for you this morning, as well as when our local officials, Mayor Karen Go and Assemblyman Vince Fong, join us. They'll go into more detail about that.
Yeah, and if you're worried about running errands during the statewide shelter in place, we're going to, again, break this all down for you.
Yeah, what's considered essential business during this time when we come back? Welcome back here at 520. All week, people have been loading up on items. However, if you're worried about having enough supplies at home following the stay-at-home order, the FDA insists that there is no nationwide food shortage. That's right, no nationwide food shortage, despite what you're seeing on grocery store shelves. They also want to reassure people there's no reason to empty those shelves. If you are headed to this store, here are some suggestions for what you should buy. And again, experts say it's not toilet paper unless you legitimately need it if you're running low. Let's again stress you should not panic buy anything. Canned goods are a great thing to have around. Soups, tuna, beans, those are all foods in cans. You can also stock up on rice, pasta, and boxed broths, but just buy a little at a time and only enough for 1 week in general. These are all useful items that don't take up freezer or fridge space. And any frozen items, of course, are good because they last longer. Peanut and almond butters also have a long shelf life. Again, there is no nationwide food shortage. If stores are empty, know that there are measures in place to get them stocked again. FDA Commissioner Dr. Stephen Hahn says Americans should only buy enough food to last a week. The agency also says low supplies on certain items will be restocked soon. To help, the FDA is relaxing some verification and audit requirements for suppliers that are using other methods to make sure their products are safe. Regulators have also lifted some restrictions on the trucking industry to keep merchandise moving around the country. The agency says travel restrictions have made it difficult to conduct usual on-site audits, and it plans to resume them when it becomes practical to do so.
You know, we've seen this across not just the nation, but also across the world. People are panic buying. And even in other countries where there's that lockdown put in place, the grocery stores are still open. So, you know, we've seen that in Italy. We've seen that in other countries as well.
You're going to be able to go to the grocery store. And again, toilet paper is made here domestically. They are, running on all cylinders right now to make more. So you don't need to hoard that toilet paper. There are people who legitimately need it, who are out of it and maybe couldn't rush to the store to buy it as quickly as possible, like our seniors and those in the disabled community. And they could be legitimately out right now. So please be kind to your neighbor.
And definitely check in on them for sure. Well, all week people have been loading up on items to prepare for a potential shelter-in-place scenario, and stores all over the nation have seen historic rises in sales of water, toilet paper, hand sanitizer like we just talked about. But as 17's Taylor Schaub reports, those aren't the only items flying off the shelves in Kern County. Good morning, Taylor.
Good morning, Maddie and Alex. Yes, as you said, stores like Costco and Walmart, they've been struggling and scrambling all week to restock on those essential items, but local gun shops have also been seeing massive spikes in sales as the public prepares to stay at home for the foreseeable future.
Drive past any gun shop in Kern County and you may think we're in wartime.
It's crazy, I'm just getting ready.
Dozens lining up to buy everything from rifles to ammo.
It was just packed. There was already a line, and it's been nuts. I came yesterday, and it was just ridiculous.
Second Amendment Sports General Manager Chris LaJoy says he's never seen anything like it.
They feel uneasy, they may feel unsafe, so they're purchasing lots of ammo as they can, and they're purchasing firearms at a record rate. We're seeing a lot of first-time buyers out here purchasing, handguns, long guns, rifles, shotguns, whatever they can get.
Buyers coming in from Bakersfield and beyond, hoping to stock up as firearms are flying off the shelves at record rates. But what does buying a gun do during this coronavirus pandemic? Well, Julio Perez says in times like this, you have to be prepared for the worst.
Well, it's not more of the virus, it's more of the people out there. If they didn't prepare, and they know people that did, they're going to do what they got to do to, survive.
Cecil Thorne also bought ammo Thursday, but says he thinks it's all overblown.
I think a lot of people are just overreacting.
Regular Earl Bagg agrees, saying people should be more focused on social distancing rather than worrying about purchasing a firearm.
I don't think it's necessary to go into a panic and have to get one at the last second, especially if you're not trained and you're going in a rush to get one.
Still, as people prepare to shelter in place for an indefinite period, stores like Second Amendment have been working around the clock.
Well, Maddie and Alex, I talked to numerous people yesterday that said the reason they came out in the last 2 days is they were worried about something like this happening, where they were going to have to stay at home for this extended period of time. They wanted to stay safe. They wanted to keep their family safe, and they thought this was the best case scenario. And you should have seen the lines yesterday, starting at 8:30 in the morning. I'm talking a 2-hour wait just to get in the store. And then once you get in the store, if you're purchasing a weapon, obviously you have to fill out all the correct paperwork, and employees were working, as we said, around the clock for that. So in Southwest Bakersfield, Taylor Schaub, 17 News.
All right, Taylor, thanks so much. We'll be back with more news coming up after this.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
All right, welcome back. Here's what you should know about what businesses are considered essential, of course, in light of this shelter-in-place scenario. Grocery stores will remain open during the statewide quarantine. That includes farmers markets, food banks, and convenience stores. The governor also says pharmacies, banks, laundromats, and gas stations will stay open. Restaurants with takeout and delivery services will also be open. That just means you will not be able to eat inside a restaurant. Now here's a look at what's closed. Dine-in restaurants, like we just talked about, bars and nightclubs, entertainment venues, gyms and fitness studios, and public events and gatherings. There is a lot more information on the order of everything that is entailed into this order. And of course, you can find that on our website, kget.com. We have a special coronavirus facts webpage for you. Again, just go to kget.com and click on coronavirus facts. Well, coming up in the next half hour on Sunrise, California is under orders from Governor Newsom to stay at home.
That's right. What's going on for the rest of the country as the coronavirus continues to spread?